Hey guys, and welcome back.
And if you're new here, thanks for joining us today.
So we decided to turn on the camera and just leave it running in the background for this small but major project that was necessary.
Yeah.
And we wanted to bring you along with it because if we shared the beginning, we might as well share the end.
Every step of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, basically, as now you'll start to see, we decided that we needed to disassemble the truck bed camper.
Right.
So if you didn't see the live that we did in Wildwood, Florida, and I'll go ahead and link that up in the cards as well as drop it in the description.
And that was the live on October 31st, Halloween.
It was on Halloween Day, yeah. We shared with our viewers that we basically lost our RV. Geico declared our RV a total loss after Hurricane Ian due to what we thought was going to be just some minor water damage that would have been able to get repaired, but according to them, it wasn't repairable.
Well, it was repairable to the normal person. It was repairable.
Yes.
But to Geico and their numbers, their finance numbers, it wasn't repairable.
Yeah.
It wasn't cost efficient to them to repair the RV.
Right. So at that point, it put us between a rock and a hard place because we couldn't stay in the RV. They basically told us we had to surrender it. It wasn't going to be covered anymore after October 31st.
Right. And we did try to talk to them about keeping the RV and finding out what kind of coverage they would provide for it. And after all the research that Chris Hernandez did for us, he came back and told us that Geico will not cover the RV at all, that it would be a salvage title, and in Florida that was going to be extremely challenging to get insurance from any other insurance coverage.
Right. So at that point, basically the hunt began to find another RV. And Lou really hoped that we could transition from one RV to the other. But we started to find that one, it was challenging. And then two, I was a little doubtful. So we needed to figure out, okay, we have to start moving out of the RV. We need to put our things somewhere in case they did take the RV and we didn't have anywhere to go. I mean, we did. We had our friend Tara.
Right. We had our friend Tara that we could go and stay with. We had our friend Joe that we could stay with for a few weeks.
Right.
We had my sister, Chato and Craig, that we could stay with them for a couple of weeks. But as you imagine, like going from house to house to house to house every 2 weeks, that was causing a great deal of stress for me.
Right.
And I know that Tara told us that we could stay there
as
limitless.
As long as we wanted.
Yes, Tara didn't put a checkout date for us.
Right.
And we were very grateful for that. We're still very grateful for that. But still, it's imposing on someone, you know.
Right.
She lives in a one-bedroom apartment, and turning her living room into our living space was the kind of sacrifice she was willing to make for an unlimited amount of time.
Right.
So,
and we didn't want to impose on any of the three with all of our belongings because that just would have been too much. And we thought about putting things in storage.
Exactly.
But then the challenge came in if we picked the storage that was in Wildwood. And what if we were staying with Joe and we found a place in RV in Tampa? Or we were staying with Lou's sister Chato in Boca and we found an RV in Fort Lauderdale. Hold on one moment. So then we wanted our stuff to be in a city near where the RV was going to be found.
Right.
And maybe we were putting a challenge to ourselves doing that, but Lou ended up deciding.
Well, what would happen? One of the things that I wanted to happen was, number one, I wanted to stay where we were, which is Wildwood.
Right.
Because there were so many RV places in the general area. Within, I'd say, 10 to 20 miles?
Yeah.
We had a good amount of RV dealerships that I felt that we had the most amount of ground that we could cover. Because while you're going to see all these RVs, you're spending gas. And gas isn't cheap, and so that's cutting into the budget. So, you know, the stress sort of like had layers, you know.
Yeah.
Had different layers. We had like We had to be out of the RV. We had to find an RV. We had to not spend too much money on gas. We had to see as many RVs as we could. There was a lot going on. So we had to figure out where to put our possessions. So in order to accomplish at least one of those things, to secure it, we decided jointly that we needed to
disassemble the
truck bed.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was heartbreaking and super sad because we both loved it. Me being super proud of having this little adventure rig, and then Lou, all this work that she put into not just the build, but even the design.
Yeah.
There's no other truck bed camper out there like hers. It's a one and only.
It was a game of inches, and it had a lot of memories for me because we took the truck bed to go visit our niece in Amherst.
Yes, for her
first year. I mean, she was there like a week, and we were
college,
there.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we are. We're Cubans, so we can't be too far. And so it held a lot of memories, you know.
Yeah.
And just building it, you know, it was just the research that I put into building it, into finding like a refrigerator that fit exactly there, like a porta potty that fit exactly there, you know, like all these things. So while it was frustrating while I was doing it, once I completed it, I felt very proud of myself for being able to do something like that, something I'd never done before.
Right.
So taking it apart was excruciatingly emotional and painful for me.
If you're new to our channel and you haven't seen the truck bed camper or even the build or this 35-day trip that we took inside that bed, we do have a playlist. I'll go ahead and link that up in the cards as well as below in the description too, that you can go back and see that process of how we built out this truck bed camper that we're now disassembling.
Right.
So that it could be our storage unit.
Right. So the idea was to take the build out and then start packing all our belongings in boxes and storing it in the truck bed. In case Geico knocked on the door and said, hey, today's the day that we're taking it.
Right.
What we had inside the RV at that point, towards the end, was two duffel bags with probably 4 outfits.
Yeah, we had like less than a week worth of clothing each.
Yeah, and then our toiletries, and then a backpack for Lexi's things.
And then our food. We left the food for like last minute.
That's all we had in the RV once we took it apart, which you're gonna see, and then started to collect boxes and pack things, pack things, and it was, Geico kept calling, and we kept ignoring the phone calls.
Yes.
You know, like, okay, if we pick it up, they might say we're coming to get it now.
Prolong this as long as possible.
Yeah, and my idea was that I want to stay here as long as I can in this RV because I want to go from one RV to the next one. I'd rather not impose on these very generous people that care for us tremendously, and kind of feel homeless, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we hope, I don't know. I don't want to say we hope you enjoy watching this disassemble because it's not enjoyable, but thank you for following along and seeing, you know, following through with this journey with us, I guess, this transition, which we are trying to stay on the bright side and think of all the positives that's going to come with this transition.
Not to mention that there's people out there that Ian hit and much harder than we did. You know, we are extremely lucky.
Oh, yeah.
You know, ours is a minor inconvenience.
Hey,
that's what Lexi has to say about it. She's very aggressive about it. I think she's smiling now. Yeah, so like I was saying, ours was a minor inconvenience in comparison to what most people went through on the west side of Florida. So you have to keep things in perspective, you know. We've had a lot of support from our community. Blue Wave Odyssey, Bob and Debbie, extremely supportive.
Doreen with camping therapy.
Izzy and MJ, extremely supportive and caring of us, and camping therapy. Doreen also,
which we will get into with another vlog. We'll talk about them all a little bit more.
Extremely supportive. So we consider ourselves extremely lucky to have all that love around us, and to come out of this maybe a little better.
Yeah.
We have more space.
Yeah. So thank you again for following along with this truck unbuilt, and it's not going to be the last. We both want it again, so it might happen again in the future. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on our truck bed camper, the memories that you have watching those vlogs, or those that you will have watching if you haven't seen them.
And now that you saw me take it apart, because when I took it apart, I was like, oh, was that easy?
Oh my God. It was like a few weeks worth of building versus a couple of hours of unbuilding.
It wasn't even a couple of hours.
It was like an hour and a half in
Yeah.
total of all the footage that I had.
And that was like me, like,
Taking
getting
our time.
down and taking down and organizing the size of the wood, because I got obsessive.
Yeah, because we did give away a lot of wood. Yeah. We separated everything that was painted, everything that was raw, and everything that was stained, and put a sign in the front that said free. And all the wood basically got taken away within a few days.
Yeah, wood's very expensive, and we're really happy that somebody else was able to do something with it.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was.
Well, thanks again. Make sure to like this video. It helps with the analytics. Comment down below.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join our community. Hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a video. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.